Welcome to Larkin-Gowan Insights, accountancy and business advice for all, a series that gives you bite-sized tips and guidance on tax, funding, legislation, reforms and much more. With case studies, business advisory and sector specials and even interviews, our team of experts are committed to helping you navigate the world of accounting and finance, with a variety of presenters from across our specialisms. So, let's get on with today's show.
Welcome to this special mini-series, Beyond the Barn, the Business of Farming. I'm your host, Laura Clayton, an assistant manager in the Farms and Rural Business team. In each episode, I invite a different guest to share their expertise on an array of different business topics that affect the farming and rural community. We cover tax, obviously, legal matters, succession, inheritance, and much more. We go behind the scenes of how we support our clients and hopefully give you some tips along the way. On this week's episode, we are going to be discussing accounting software for our farming clients. This is part 2. Part 1, which hopefully you may have listened to already, covered record keeping and accuracy of data. So hopefully this will be a nice follow-on from that. So I am joined again by Amber and Annabelle. Thank you both for joining.
Thank you, Laura. And to those who haven't listened to our previous podcast, my name is Amber Rose Barrett. I am an assistant manager within our Farms and Rural Business team based in the Fakenham office, and I have a keen interest in all things digital and processes and systems and anything related to digital software.
Hi, I'm Annabelle. I also work in the Farms and Rural Business team in Fakenham office with Amber, and I have developed a strong focus on digital solutions over the last few years.
Amber, so could you please give us a run through of what is out there on the market at the moment, as there is a lot of options, and one of the common things I get from clients is which one is best?
Absolutely. And I think this is something that we experience ourselves as well. And I always answer that question with a question, which is, what matters to you? Because there are, as you've said, a whole myriad of different types of software out there. A lot of them do a lot of the same, and a lot of them do things slightly different. So I think really the question we ask is, what is a deal breaker? What is it that you want to achieve? And from then we can kind of build the profile of what software might suit. And it might be that there's more than one that's suitable for our clients, but I think it's really just understanding what is absolutely the crux of what they're trying to achieve. So ones that we see regularly are, unsurprisingly, the likes of Xero and QuickBooks. We've got a lot of clients on those. Both of those are cloud-based. And along with that, it means that we can obviously access the data live. The bank feed option is available, and there's a whole host of up-to-date things that both those softwares can provide. More specifically, we see the likes of Farmplan. More recently on the horizon, I think Key Infinities is up and coming. That's a Key Prime product that is their cloud-based product. And Sage, obviously, I think has been an ongoing product for a really, really long time. So as you can see, for us personally as accountants, there isn't just one, and I think everyone has their favorite, and that's probably the one that they use the most and the ones that they feel more comfortable with. But from our point of view, it's very much a case of what is it that the client is looking for and what product is best to suit their needs.
I think that's a very good point, because although our clients are in the same industry, not every client are going to have the same goals, or they're not going to want to get the same out of their software.
Definitely. And I think we see, particularly with clients that are diversifying, where they might have a coffee shop, or they might have a campsite, or they might have a farm shop. Sometimes actually their need sits more in line with till systems that integrate and card machines that integrate and that kind of thing, as opposed to enterprise reporting, which all things that we will come on to. But I think it really, there isn't a one size fits all. And I think it's just having that understanding,
which we can only get from talking with our clients too.
Definitely, hence asking them a question, which I think is quite frustrating. But I think at least then we can kind of gauge, okay, and this is what will be best for you, rather than going in with this product is the one that everyone is using, because that actually isn't the case. I think between Annabelle and myself, we're assisting with and delivering training on various different types of software as a team.
Yeah, so there is quite a lot to choose from, as you pointed out. Annabelle, what are the positives and negatives of the sort of software that Amber mentioned?
So I think following on from you, Amber, each software does have its own strengths and weaknesses, and the right choice does really depend on what the client wants to get out of it. For example, desktop-based software can still work for some, but one of the main drawbacks for that is the lack of real-time access. Business owners and accountants can't log in from anywhere and see live data, which limits flexibility and collaboration. I think these days especially, we expect any good digital software to offer features like bank feeds and the ability to raise and send invoices as standard. If a system doesn't include those, it's probably not the best fit for modern businesses. And I think in general, the positive and negatives often come down to the client goals. If the priority is saving time and improving efficiency, I think ease of use and automation is key. So it might be you choose a software with lots of different apps that link to it just to improve efficiencies there. I think if, as a client, you're more concerned about detailed reporting and running off more complex reports, it might be you look for a software that actually provides those. Most cloud-based softwares are similar in terms of cost, so the decision usually comes down to functionality and ease of use rather than price. I think for clients who have diversified or run multi-site operations, many softwares use an option to track performance by location or enterprise. For example, Xero has tracking categories and QuickBooks has classes, and lots of other software offer enterprise reporting. So that's great for separating out income and expenses by either location or enterprise, whether that's a farm shop or a glamping site, just to again generate better reports.
I think that's one of the most common things I get asked by my clients, because a lot of them are now looking or looking to diversification or have diversified. And like you say, they want to know what enterprise or how well each enterprise is doing. So I think that's becoming more of a popular feature on software, or a requested feature on software, that they can track and see how well that sort of enterprise is doing.
Yeah, I do think most softwares do offer it. It's all just under different names. So it's hard to actually know whether a software does do it because it might not be called enterprises like it is on Key Infinity, for example. It could be classes or tracking categories.
And I think that comes back to asking the right question again, doesn't it? Because if you know that that's what the client needs, then when we're offering training and giving support, we can get that set up from the outset, and then it becomes part of their system and process, and then it just happens, second nature. It's much more difficult to go back and try and change historical data or manipulate historical data, which obviously can be done, but if it's being done at the data entry point, it's much easier for them.
So this is a good opportunity to use this as a blank canvas as such, and start with, like you say, with all the goals outlined, to get it right from the get-go, so they've got what they want, like you say, rather than having to change halfway through.
Definitely. And I think me and Annabelle have both gone through system changes and processes. And really, what I say to clients is, let's look at what you currently do and what you like about what you currently do. And then we can build on that as a foundations, and just give them that bit of support and comfort that actually, yes, the digital software might be changing, or they might be changing a certain aspect of what they currently do, but actually it fits in with their current routine.
I think another thing that I get asked a lot too is, how can the software make clients' life easier? Is there any sort of add-ons or little tricks that they can use to gain time or efficiencies? Does any of the software that you've mentioned allow that?
So I think many of the digital accounting platforms we work with, but especially Xero, has a whole range of add-ons or integrations that can really just streamline things for clients. I think a common one we use internally, as well as advise clients to use externally, is Dext, which is a great tool for managing invoices and receipts. You just snap a photo of a receipt on your phone, and Dext pulls out the key information, like the date, the supplier, the amount, and sends it straight to your accounting software. It saves loads of time on manual data entry and does help reduce errors. There are also other integrations like HubDoc and Auto Entry, which essentially do the same thing. So you've also got Stripe, and Stripe allows users to accept payments off of the Xero invoices that the customer gets sent. So when you send an invoice to a customer, it will essentially come up with a Pay Now button, which allows the customer especially if they're individual people. You might be using it for something like a glamping site or a livery, and that just gives them the option to pay now on their phone. And we've had a client that has used Stripe and added that to their Xero system, and they have noticed people paying out so much faster, which is obviously great for cash flow. And yes, there is a small fee, but I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons.
So the add-ins that you've mentioned actually don't just play a part in record keeping, but actually, like you mentioned, they can help with the sort of business side of things too, like you say, by getting money in quicker and cash flow.
Yeah, 100%. I think there's loads of different kinds of add-ons, and they are just all about making life easier, which I know for our farming clients is really important because they're obviously very busy.
Definitely. So when we're talking to our clients about the software options, it's obviously important that we also mention these add-ons as well in case they don't know they exist and it's something that they're interested in.
Absolutely. I think from our point of view, we've had quite a few cases where just by walking through with a client, what are their current processes? What are the sequence of events that they work through? We've kind of sat back and thought, okay, and there's probably an add on that can deal with that for them and gone through it. And actually, there have been cases where the client's already got an add on or they've already got a system in place. But as part of going through the process with them, we've realized actually the system has a lot more capabilities than what they anticipated in the first place. So it's not always about a software change. I think it's about building perhaps upon what already exists. And we kind of look at this in layers. So where we've got digital integrations upcoming, we've looked at, again, how can we mirror what's happening and make it slightly better? And how can we help with your cash flow? And how can we cut out this process? Or, we want to use this member of staff to do something else. Okay, so we need a replacement to fill that role. And I think it's just looking at it piece by piece and kind of building it up from the core foundation of what actually happens within the business.
And I know we've covered a lot of this software from a business point of view, but with MTD ITSA on the horizon, I've had a lot of clients ask, what are their options, what software is available to them. So what would your advice be to those asking those questions?
So at the time of recording this podcast, Xero, QuickBooks, Free Agent, the likes of Hammock, and also perhaps lesser known products are all on HMRC's approved list of being compliant with Making Tax Digital requirements. We are fully aware that there are a lot of other software providers that perhaps just haven't got on that list yet, but are very much, developing their product to enable this to happen. Obviously, we're still quite a bit away. So what I will say is that actually, I've not heard of one software provider at this point saying we are not going to be able to deal with it, because ultimately they're going to have to. So what I would really say from a client's point of view is if they've got any concerns or queries, really just to get in touch with us. And it is one of those things that over the next few months, obviously we're learning, HMRC themselves are learning, because they've had to build platforms and systems their end to be able to cope with this. Just if they've got any concerns, to just get in touch with us, and we can answer their queries and keep them updated with developments as and when they happen.
So a bit of watch this space, but equally we are here ready to go when the time comes.
Definitely.
And I think for both businesses and individuals, I think there are definitely some clients out there who are quite nervous with going digital, or even I've had some clients that are digital but have switched softwares just because the software wasn't providing what they needed anymore. But they've been quite nervous to do so. As it's a big change, isn't it? What can we do to sort of help them with that transition?
I mean, we absolutely offer training to all clients who would like it, no matter the skill level. Whether that's an experienced bookkeeper looking to get to grips with a new piece of software, perhaps they've been used to the likes of Sage or Farmplan and are moving on to learning how to use Xero, or it could be someone completely new to bookkeeping and helping out with the family business, or indeed an individual themselves. All of our training is tailored specifically to each client's needs and wants. We don't believe in a one size fits all approach. So whether it's people prefer hands-on sessions where we go out to the clients and actually sit and do the bookkeeping on the new software, or it's more of a step-by-step kind of demonstration from us, or it's just help with specific features. They could not be using tracking categories on Xero and might just want a demonstration on how to use that. We offer training across a wide range of platforms, and we're always happy to answer any questions and provide ongoing support after the training too. I think it's making sure that our clients feel confident and comfortable using the software that they're being trained on, and about ironing out the wrinkles before they kind of accumulate and get into proper problems.
So there's a level of training for everyone, basically.
Yeah, 100%.
And there was a previous episode that talks about data accuracy and record keeping. So please do have a listen to that if you haven't already. As always, if you would like to speak to us, our contact information will be in the show notes.
Thank you for joining us for Larkin Gowan Insights, Accountancy and Business Advice for All. Don't forget, you can find more information about today's topic and more about how our team of experts can help you in your business by visiting our website, larkin-gowan.co.uk. Join us again next time for another fascinating insight into the world of accounting and finance.